Hello everybody, we are back today and we're going to be doing a series review of the second round between the Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken. And of course, if you're new, please make sure to subscribe if you are new. And also, yes, I did get a haircut. Thank you for noticing. Anyway, let's kick it off with the first game to talk about that. Game 1 starts off with Joe Pavelski, who came back from the concussion protocol after a scary hit in the first round against the Wild. He comes on and gets the first goal of this game. Schwartz doesn't seem to mind, though. He ties things up here for Seattle just a little bit later. And then about a minute later, Joe Pavelski says, "I'm back," and I score a second goal of the game here. Seattle does punish Dallas with a 3-goal spurt for them to close out the first. You have Schultz, Bjorkstrand, and Eberle as Ottinger allows 4 goals on 12 shots. But no worries, as there are no goals in the second. But the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Pavelski ends up scoring 2 more goals in the third to make it 4-all. No. We are not going to see this end in regulation. Instead, it's going to end in overtime. And despite Ottinger stopping 33 shots in a row, it is Yanni Gourde that ends this one in OT as Seattle snags an early 1-0 lead in the series. Game 2 with Seattle looking to get a 2-0 advantage, Stars looking to even things up, and it was Dallas that was able to get the first goal of the game, that was being Wyatt Johnston kicking things off. Dadonov does score a second goal not too long after, but Tim Cartier ends up scoring a goal for Seattle to make it 2-1 Stars. Old man Joe Pavelski continues to have just an insane streak, scoring a power play goal late in the second to give Dallas a 3-1 lead. Tyler Seguin gets one with about 9 minutes left in the third. Jordan Eberle does end up scoring to make it a 4-2 game late in the third, but at the end of the day, it is Dallas that gets the win, 4-2, as the series is tied, headed up to the Pacific Northwest. The first game that happens here in the Emerald City kicks off with no goals in the first. Jordan Eberle does get the first one here, as his goal is part of 4 in a row for the Kraken. Winberg, Susie, and Meniers as well, who scored in a 6-minute burst. So anytime you're able to get 4 goals in one game, that's great, but 4 in 6 minutes, it's incredible. Mason Marchment does get the Stars a much-needed goal, but Dallas is down 5-1 after 2 things to late Tolvanen goal, and the roadside does make a change in net. Ottinger, not a guy that was locked in for parts of this series, but we see 3 goals scored in the third. Unfortunately for Dallas, 2 of those are Seattle's, as they end up winning this one 7-2 and thrashing over the Stars, as the Kraken take a pivotal 2-1 lead after 3 games in this series. Game 4, kind of a crazy game here as the Stars look to even things up, and we saw 41 total shots, not a lot of shots in this one, but 9 total goals here. Jamie Benn starts it off on the power play in the first, and the Stars get 3 after that being Harley, Domi, and Pavelski to have a 4-0 cushion. Schwartz does give Seattle a goal to make this one 4-1, get a little bit momentum back, but Hintz ends up scoring with less than a minute in the third period to give the Lone Star team a 5-1 advantage. In the second, Seattle scores the next 2 to make it 5-3, but it's too little too late as Max Domi bags the empty netter, and the Stars win this one 6-3 after just getting spanked 7-2 in Game 3. So of course, now after 4 games, this thing is tied up at 2-all. So for Game 5, of course, this is back in Texas, and Wyatt Johnston and Roope Hintz end up giving the team the lead, and they score 2 goals in the first to give their team that crucial 2-0 lead after 20. Pavelski scores about 30 seconds into the second, but Larson does score to keep this a close 3-1 game. McCann does get his first of the series in just his second game played. If you remember, he got injured in that first round against the Avalanche, and now it's 3-2 Dallas. The third is tense, with Hintz eventually scoring a goal halfway through to make it 4-2. Faksa ends up opening this one up with an empty net to make it 5-2 as the Stars end up winning despite being outshot 31-21 and now hold a 3-2 series lead, headed back up to Seattle. Game 6, of course, this is a do-or-die elimination game for the Kraken, and Yanni Gourde scores the first goal in this game as Seattle looks to push this series back over to Dallas. Marchment scores halfway through to tie things up, but Jordan Eberle scores a power play goal to go up 2-1 in a do-or-die game. You have Tolvanen and Cartier, they also score as well in the first 4.5 minutes of the second to end up going up 4-1, so that's really good for the home side. But Pavelski responds with his 8th goal of the series, as it is now 4-2. Things stay close for a bit before Matty Beniers makes it 5-2 in the third. Kiviranta does score 15 seconds later to make it 5-3, so it's interesting again, but Jordan Eberle scores an empty net goal as the Kraken end up winning 6-3. This thing's going the distance and is headed back down to Texas for a pivotal do-or-die Game 7 for either side. Game 7, and this is where you see no goals in the first, and it is not until Ropa Hintz gets a big goal late in the second to give his side a 1-0 lead. Wyatt Johnston does add another goal to make it 2-0 in the third, and it feels like the Stars are home free. But wait, Oliver Bjorkstrand stores this one with about 20 seconds left in the game. He gets one goal, and there's a little bit of hope for Seattle. At the end of the day, though, it is the Stars that end up winning this one 2-1. They win the series 4-3 for Seattle. This is a very frustrating loss for them. The fact that they were able to push a very good Dallas team to the brink and actually held 2 series leads at one point after knocking off the Colorado Avalanche in the first round. Felt like they really could have gone on to the conference final to play the Vegas Golden Knights. Unfortunately for them, in Game 7, you of course had Ottinger kind of click and things go well for them, and then when you are not able to get a goal till 20 seconds left in the game when the other team has scored, that's going to be a problem. But for them, this was a really good year after a really disappointing inaugural season. Things look really good going into year 3, as this club, at the very worst in a lot of people's eyes, is viewed as a team that should make the playoffs next year as a wild card. Again, at worst and at best, who knows, maybe some things will click for them as things look bright for them. As for Dallas, this is a big series when it wasn't easy, and things aren't always easy for championship teams, championship caliber teams, but Dallas is headed back to the third round yet again for the first time since 2020, where they'll be taking on the Vegas Golden Knights, which should be a really good matchup there. We will see if Dallas can get the better of Vegas yet again to go on to their second appearance in the Stanley Cup final in 4 seasons, as the Stars look to hopefully win their first Stanley Cup in over 20 years. It is 1999 was the last time they did it, so closing in on 25 years. We will have to see though. What were your thoughts on this series? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. And you go Valky, alright. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.